Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Super Ninja Austin back here, and this is episode 42 of the SNA podcast, and it's the wrestling news video, and we're gonna be talking about the what's going on into the wrestling world, the wrestling news stories and rumors that y'all need to know, and and then we're gonna be seeing it on Ringside News' article online. Let's begin. Oh yeah, and before I begin, this is I'll let you know this is the wrestling news part 8. Yeah, I'm on my 8th part is doing these wrestling news videos, and I'll make sure I'm gonna try to do plenty more for the foreseeable future. But yeah, just keep watching. Yeah, but anyway, we'll start off today with some with a full list of main roster talent who were released today. And we're going to see it right here. We got some shocking and unfortunate news for those who was released. We're going to look down. It says WWE decided to make some tough cuts to their roster today, and now we have an update list on of who was released. Will we will also continue adding to this list in case the the company decides to to hand down more release talent. Talent such as names like Dolph Ziggler's name was probably the biggest release so far today. It was recent report that Dolph Ziggler asked for some time off from WWE. He was he had I mean not was he has been crafting his stand up comedy routine for years, and now he will have more opportunities to explore those to explore in those options. And then it said we previously reported that Mustafa Ali said he's no longer working with WWE. He has working he was working with NXT to prior to his departure. He were where he was trying out a new character. It didn't take long for fans to hear about Elias' release. Long long time readers will know what Ringside News exclusively reported that the internal belief was that his Ezekiel brother character killed his creator. It was then revealed that Emma was released today was as well. She was with Riddick Moss creatively in WWE, and hadn't she hadn't been have been seen in quite some time. The according to this Ringside News article, in an exclusively reported that WWE Creative didn't know how to get Moss over because he never connected with fans. It was later reported that Rick Boogs was released from his contract. He was aligned with Shinsuke Nakamura in a lot of momentum, but then he suffered terribly timed injury. He never quite got the same momentum or guitar playing skills or guitar playing gig in WWE after that. Sadly, Aaliyah's name joined that list later. She was a mainstay in NXT for around 7 years. Then she finally made her way up to the WWE main roster. Her her final match was when she lost the women's tag team titles along with Raquel Rodriguez to Damage Control. She has been absent from WWE television since then. Top Doll's name joined to those released as well. Riddick Moss later joined Emma in the list of releases. This comes not one day after he had debunk long refuted and mostly did rumors that he had heat in WWE that the the two incidents are likely not released or likely not or related or not released, not related. My bad. Maybe because I just woke up and my brain's not functioning like it should. Like maybe I should have waited until later on, but I'm doing this right now, so I might as well just continue reading. But anyways, this is where it's not related at all. Shelton Benjamin was also released from his WWE contract today. He is a pro wrestling veteran and former member of the Hurt Business, who will be missed by a number of people on the roster. Yeah, but this is shocking. Like I would say it's more shocking that I would say my most shocking thoughts about this thought about these mass cuts is like the likes of Rick Boogs and I'll say the likes of Rick Boogs and Shelton Benjamin. Like despite them being absent in WWE lately, there would be at least my expectations onto this list of wrestlers that were released today. Yeah. And I heard that they're going to be a mass release. Like I kind of would expect it, like the likes of Emma and Madcap Moss and even Dolph Ziggler and Aaliyah, because there's been rumors that they're going to potentially be released. But I did not expect it, like the likes of Shelton Benjamin and Rick Boogs. But yeah, what do y'all think about this shocking news about these mass releases? And what do you think where they're gonna go next? Like, are they gonna stay? Either of these wrestlers gonna stay into the wrestling business, or they're gonna venture out and try something new? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I would say Dolph Ziggler probably gonna try something new with this standout comedy gig, and he possibly could get successful at it. But at the same time, I believe he possibly could go to AEW, like the rumors that have been reported from the past couple of days. And it's been a couple of days that Dolph Ziggler could join his brother in AEW. My bad. Join his brother Ryan Nemec. That's his name, is Ryan Nemec. In AEW, and probably team together and probably be in a part of the tag team division, like his brother asked him, requested to happen, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, that's very shocking. Like to hear from it anytime soon. Like about Dolph Ziggler's release being the most shocking. I'll say a Dolph Ziggler, Shelton Benjamin, maybe even a Rick Boogs. But what do you think? Like what's going to be next for them? Yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments. And for those who lost their jobs in WWE, I wish them the best of luck and even the best of luck in their future endeavors. But yeah, that's very shocking. That's unbelievable. Yeah. And they did said they're gonna have some mass release cuts, but I don't expect it to be this soon. Yeah, like maybe I would eventually would have expected Dolph Ziggler released and maybe a Dolph Ziggler released and an Emma released, Leah released, and a Elias released because no one haven't seen them. And since no one haven't seen him since like during the draft when he was picked as the when he was in the free agent list of WWE. Like I was like, why did they have the free agent list? Like why didn't they just put him on the show, whether for being Raw or SmackDown? Like SmackDown would have been a good breath of fresh air. And they said possibly the reason why that they haven't been using them on TV lately is probably for the fact that his brother Ezekiel character probably killed any kind of credibility and momentum that he gained from the past 5 years of being in the main roster of WWE. But I hope him the better wherever he's going after in his future endeavors as well, and along with the rest of the guys that's been shockingly given the pink slip. But yeah, let's move on to the next news story. Is we got some Kayla Braxton news. And Kayla Braxton called out those who rejoice. Yeah. Kayla Braxton calls out those who rejoice in WWE talent's firing. With Kayla Braxton is a highly regarded personality in WWE for good reasons. However, it's unfortunate that she often finds herself on the receiving end of unwarranted negativity on social media for various reasons. Now it appears she called out people who are glad about WWE talent getting fired today. After WWE and UFC finished their merger last week, fans feared the worst as they expected numerous cuts from WWE that already started after WWE laid off over 100 staff from their headquarters. Today, the company decided to put their in-ring talent on the chopping block. We previously reported that Mustafa Ali said he is no longer working with WWE. It was then revealed that Emma was released today, as well as Madcap Moss later joined his fiance in free agency. It was later reported that Rick Boogs was released from his contract. That's not all, as the likes of Aaliyah, Shelton Benjamin, and even Elias would get released, while most fans were saddened by their releases, as selection of people online celebrated the releases instead. Kayla Braxton certainly didn't fall to notice those who celebrate WWE talent getting released, as she took to Twitter and put all of those people on blast, hoping that karma gets them back. Some of you are She said by the backstage interviewer from Friday Night SmackDown said, "Some of you are sad sacks of the poop emoji. For anyone to say that they are glad certain people are losing their jobs, or for you to tweet that you hope one of us gets it next. I I hope karma hits you harder than the devastating wrestlers move, most devastating wrestling. Or let me rephrase that. Like I hope karma hits harder than the most devastating wrestling move ever could. That's a gross. That's so gross. Be better. WWE talent are frustrated as the company continues to release more superstars. Elias already reacted to his shocking WWE release. It remains to be seen how many talent will end up getting released once the day ends. And here's the tweet of Caleb Braxton taking to Twitter to call out for those who were glad that lost their jobs today. And she called and put them on notice. And I'm gonna give y'all a few extra seconds. And if y'all want to get some extra more seconds, I recommend y'all to pause the video to read what I'm showing on my phone about Caleb Braxton's tweet on Twitter. But what y'all think about Caleb Braxton's reaction about the released wrestlers? Release about the some of the fans on Twitter taking this too far of celebrating their releases. Y'all let me know down in the comments. I believe they shouldn't be celebrating. They should be if they're gonna take this in a calm manner, I would say hoping them for the better. They should be saying like if they were shocked about this, they could show their shocked reactions and do the shock emojis with the eyes up. Like, how in the hell did they got released? But for those like Dolph Ziggler and the Shelton Benjamin, Elias, even the Rick Boogs, and many more that were released, you should be wishing and hoping that they get hoping for the better. They get hopefully another wrestling promotion picks them up, like if they're still in the wrestling or whatever, or new venture or new career that they're working on doing, or a new job that they'll love to do, and that's giving them successful pay, and that's bringing in some successful income, and even putting a smile on their faces. Let's hope for the better for after this layoffs, because nobody don't deserve to lose their jobs under no circumstances. I agree with Caleb Braxton, and for those who were tweeting about tweeting and celebrating about the mass release, it's not a good idea. I would recommend you to stop it and to delete those tweets and never to tweet or post anything about that on social media ever again. It's not going to give you any good. It's not going to get you any good. Not going to give you a good reputation even. I should say. I would say it's not going to get you any good reputations or good PR, or anything give you any good favors, when it comes to you being noticed on social media or anything you're doing on your job. If you ever dream of being a professional, whether if it's on TV or in sports, when it's like being an actor or a wrestler or a sports athlete or whatever, or any other sports athlete, I should say, it's not going to give you a good look by tweeting this stuff about wrestlers losing their jobs. Even though you said this could be an open door and be a blessing in disguise, but do it in a way that's logical and understanding, by tweeting in the most wise manner, by explaining yourself, saying this could be a blessing in disguise for those who lost their jobs today, with the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Shelton Benjamin, Rick Boogs, I believe Mustafa Ali. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments if I got him right, but Aaliyah and Emma and Riddick Moss. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments below and about what you think about Caleb Braxton's tweet and what you think about the fans tweeting out on Twitter. Y'all let me know all of that, and sending y'all's opinions. And I hope I'm not being too sluggish today. Like, I'm trying to put myself together. Please bear with me right now. But but up next up, we have some JR news. We got Jim Ross voices preference for quarterly pay-per-views in light of AEW's expansion plans. And it says right here, Jim Ross is a Hall of Famer and was the voice of several generations of fans, as he gave decades of his life to the business. He is never afraid to express his opinions. This includes his preference for quarterly pay-per-views, despite the fact that AEW is expanding on their yearly pay-per-views. My bad. Not trying to repeatedly say the words for the yearly pay-per-views. Trying to say it in y'all's understanding, of course. By the way, sorry about that. But anyways, due to his veteran status, Jim Ross is well aware of how the pro wrestling world functions, and how certain things in AEW can be perceived naturally. How it can be perceived naturally. How whatever JR says carries a lot of weight. As previous reported, AEW is contemplating. Yeah, my bad. AEW is contemplating increasing its pay-per-views count to 12 events per year. This was a natural progression for the company as it continues to grow over the years. Excuse me. While speaking on the latest episode of the Grilling JR podcast, Jim Ross stated that he prefers the quarterly pay-per-view schedule, as it allows the company to build in anticipation for each event. My bad. Yeah, for saying that in the last minute. But anyways, as what it also says on the Grilling JR podcast, I liked the old format because it gave companies whoever they were opportunities to build the anticipation for that pay-per-view and that investment that the fans need to make to enjoy it. You gotta buy it. I think the economy dictates the economy dictates a lot of that. You got to have a great attractions sale sell pay-per-views, Conrad. It's it's that simple. It's not the second match on the card. Third match is it's what on the poster. So to speak, I like that fact that at one time were we were able to build stories and strengthening them so that there is more of a desire to buy and to watch. You got to change with the times. I get that, and I have no problem with that either. I just think the storytelling realm of pro wrestling were were better off with the opportunity to build. It looks like you're right. The trend is is going to do that of monthlies of monthlies. If you're creative enough to build a story for a big fan of building the story or building the anticipation for the story type situation. I would agree on one thing about JR about having what's that called? He said having quarterly pay-per-views. Yeah, that's what he described him prefer quarterly pay-per-views because they have that opportunity. And for AEW's case, they're taking advantage with that with Forbidden Door and Wrestle Dreams, because for the fact that it's creating opportunities for with fan base all across the globe, like with not only like with them with Wrestle Dreams and Forbidden Door being crossovers with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because they're not only bringing more wrestlers getting started to watch AEW's product, but he also bringing fan bases from fans from wrestling fans for those who are watching New Japan Pro Wrestling too. And they can also do the same with AAA. I think they should do the same with AAA. They should do a crossover event with them and whoever they're partnering with, which I'll say for now it's with New Japan and AAA. AAA's into their promotions, and I think they should continue doing this because for the fact that they not to have every single pay-per-view on the month like WWE, because too much like the old saying goes, too much of a good thing could be a bad thing, and they should be expanding these quarterly pay-per-views, like using them as opportunities, as making something interesting out of them, like with New Japan and AEW. New Japan and AEW, like they're bringing in some AEW, like with us AEW fans being a fan of watching New Japan, and then the New Japan fans can see what's going on with the All Elite brand company, and then they could be sponsoring one another and seeing where to watch the wrestling, watching each other's respective wrestling promotions exclusively, like which you. Over here in America, you can watch them exclusively on cable, like even on streaming platforms such as Sling and YouTube TV, which guys like me, I got YouTube TV, of course, like because it's the cheapest and convenient cable streaming service that you could ever have, like into saving some money and get it at an affordable price, and you can get so many channels into a streaming platform. You can watch it very conveniently, like whether if it's on a phone or on a smart TV or on a laptop or a gaming system, you can take it around anywhere you want. You don't even have to be at home just to watch the YouTube streaming platform. But anyways, back to Tony Khan. What do you think about JR's opinion on the matter? Y'all let me know down in the comments below about JR's preference of having quarterly pay-per-views, like a couple of times out of the like a couple of like a couple of months out of the year. Yeah, like for like 2 to 3 months out of the year. Like it's not like it's gonna hurt, like because it's not like it's gonna be every single month every year out of the year. Even don't get me wrong, WWE does it in the tradition in a way that very interesting in a way, even though they could overly do these month to month pay-per-views out of the year. But recently they haven't had pay-per-views in June, and even I believe in December they're not gonna even have pay-per. That's like, even though that's like 2 months out of the year, but still like that's still giving that some sort of variety. Like they got giving the wrestling fans a break of having pay-per-views and waiting until like the next 2 to 3 months to go to have the biggest pay-per-view, which is like they say after Survivor Series, they're not gonna have another pay-per-view until January of 2024, which is the Royal Rumble, of course, obviously. But that's 2 big pay-per-views in a row, but they expand them from 2 months apart. And then they're not going to do it month to month because even, WWE's starting to figure this out. Like too much of a good thing could be a bad thing. But but that's another news story for another day, but or something to talk about for another day. But it also been noted on this article that another pay-per-view for AEW is already on the horizon for this year, as the company's growth is apparently, and fans will just have to get used to seeing 12 pay-per-views every year, soon. I mean, not every soon, very soon. Every year, very soon, as Tony Khan clearly had lofty goals for the company. But I think if Tony Khan has ideas with these lofty ideas, like I think that Tony Khan should definitely do them in a way that's gonna be for variety for everyone. Like with a couple of them being a couple of quarterly pay-per-views could be for only AEW exclusive, but also it could be a couple of them can be for New Japan, like with New Japan and for them and New Japan crossovers, and also for a couple of them can be a crossover with their Mexican wrestling company, which is AAA. Like they should do it like this. Like they should have the AAA. A couple of quarterly pay-per-views could be crossovers with AAA, and then the quarterly pay-per-view, 2 of them can be a quarterly be crossover with New Japan, and then a couple of them could be exclusively on AEW. And I wouldn't say All In was a quarterly pay-per-view. It was like probably their 5th biggest pay-per-view of the year. I'll say they should have 5 big pay-per-views, which is All In, All Out, Full Gear, Revolution, and Double or Nothing. But I'll say they should have quarterly pay-per-views. They'll have this is how they should do it. Like they should expand them, like 2 being for triple crossovers, 2 of them for being two for 2 from not AEW, 2 New Japan NJPW even pay-per-view crossovers, and then 3 of them can be AEW exclusive only, like just to have something the fans will watch, like exclusively on pay-per-views. And then they said they're rumored to have a streaming service just like WWE have with their WWE network. But I'll say when they do, I think that would be the best way to have 12 pay-per-views out of the year. Like you have the Double or Nothing in May, and then we have a Forbidden Door in June, and then they could have a pay-per-view in July. Like it could be any. I would say I was thinking about thinking about an AEW exclusive pay-per-view, but I think it should be a crossover with what's their names? AAA. Yeah, AAA. No disrespect. I just trying to think of y'all promotional names. Sorry for the promotion. My apologies. Just I have a lot on my mind. I'm trying to put it together, but put the puzzle pieces together. But anyway, they got AAA in July, and then we'll have All in August, and then we'll have AEW All Out in September, and then I believe October will be Wrestle Dreams, November will be Full Gears, and then maybe they'll have an AEW exclusive, or no, it'll be a AAA spinoff. Like it'll be another AAA spinoff in December, or no, it could be no, it'll be an AEW exclusive pay per view. I'll say we'll have two AEW quarterly pay per view exclusives with AEW in December and December and January, and then February I would say would be the AAA spinoff wrestling spinoff, and then in February they should have a wrestling spinoff with AAA in February, have a pay-per-view with them, and then that's when they'll have full Revolution in March, and then April that's when April they'll have whatever pay-per-view, like another AEW exclusive pay-per-view, a small one. Like I said, that'll be the third small exclusive quarterly pay-per-view. But yeah, that's only in my opinion. What y'all think? Should they stay, like, maintain the status quo, only having like 5 to 6 pay-per-views out of the year, or should they continue and expand and have more more exclusive pay-per-views into their behalf? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I'll love to hear that, because yeah, it's very interesting on what's next for AEW and having upcoming pay-per-views. That's very interesting to hear from hearing on the wrestling news, from hearing this on this article. But let's move on to this next article, which is John Cena drops tribute to Dolph Ziggler after his release. And it's been posted about from the 16-time WWE World Champion sending a message on social media and paying tribute to his longtime rival, the Show-Off. And it says right here, WWE released a lot of talent from the main roster today. You may click here of complete list of everyone in WWE got fired, which that's no need, because I analyzed that already about the release of those who were fired from WWE. But more cuts are expected from the main rosters. I mean, not main roster. It already did. I mean, it's going to be expected. There's going to be more released. More cuts are expected from NXT as well. A few of them hit hard with fans and the WWE roster. But, excuse me, losing Dolph Ziggler was certainly unexpected. I would say it was unexpected at the moment, but it's been teases, though. Like, I'm not sure if this article is I'm not sure if most people would agree with this guy on this article from Ringside News, but I think that everybody somewhat expected this, but they can agree on one thing, saying it came out of the blue, like with there being some mass release. Like, we would expect if there was going to be some mass, it would be somebody that was going to be playing, like, with them being already exiting, but not with Dolph Ziggler being out and doing his stand-up comedy, and he even teased by even being part on the AEW YouTube show, being the elite of talking to his brother, what's his name, Ryan Nemec. That's what his name is, Ryan Nemec, by making fun of the Young Bucks being part of the Jackson family, like of part of the Jackson family, I believe, which is like with Michael Jackson and him. He's like I never heard about these guys, but I think they're Michael Jackson's brother, I believe. I don't know, wherever the line goes, but anyway, we're going back to the article. It said Dolph Ziggler's name was one of those released superstars, and many were shocked to see the veteran fired by the company. He He worked with WWE a ton of great names, and was a part of history many times throughout his long tenure with the company since 2005, aka 2005. John Cena was one of the people who can attest to how good Dolph Ziggler in the ring. The 16-time world champion obviously heard the show off was released today because he dropped a little tribute on Twitter. And it says right here, Dolph Ziggler and John Cena had many battles in the ring, and it appears that left a lasting impression on Cena. We will have to see. We will have to see what Dolph Ziggler does next, but he certainly proved himself as one of the best in the ring whenever WWE gave him an opportunity. John Cena is back for another run with WWE right now. Sadly, he won't get to see his old friend and rival Dolph Ziggler backstage, because it says right here on Twitter 1,000 I'll say 1,554 matches, which in counting, like that's a very insane amount of matches that he had with the former world heavyweight champion Dolph that he had with the show off Dolph Ziggler, because it says it right here on this tweet, which is the image right here. I need to get it show it back on here again. But yeah, as you can see on the phone on this tweet from a mini tribute from the 16-time world champion, that he had so many matches with the show off. And like I said, what do you think was next? And what next for Dolph Ziggler? Let me know about that down in the comments below. I believe he's going to continue his standout comedy gig, and then he's going to somehow negotiate with AEW and possibly join with him. If that's only if he's interested, and he's still interested in the squared circle in the world of professional wrestling, and he can join his brother Ryan Nemec and grant his brother's wish to come true and come to reality, and win the AEW Tag Team Championships, and possibly in the future have Dolph Ziggler win the AEW Championship while Ryan Nemec wins the AEW TNT Championship. But I believe they'll probably win them in the separate occasion. That'll be a separate occasion when they along with them being AEW Tag Team Champions. But that's on my opinion, and that's only if he joins AEW, because that remains to be seen, like at this time, and that is yet to be seen as well, to be the exact. But yeah, y'all let me know. Keep going down in the comments. What do you think about John Cena's tribute? Like, I believe that was a very touching tribute, like for John Cena, for acknowledging the fact that Dolph Ziggler was underratedly the greatest. I wouldn't say the greatest. I'll say the best wrestler in WWE. And it looks like if he's still interested in the wrestling business, like it looks like you're gonna have to find work somewhere at this unfortunate time for the show off. But yeah, that was very great, and that was very touching and very cool of the 16-time champion. And too bad, he won't be able to face him again, because he's been given a pink slip. But let's move on to the next news article, which is we're going to look at today's talents released is non-compete clause. It says right here, today's WWE releases comes with a non-compete clause. We're going to see how many days do they have on their non-compete clause for them, which we probably know, like at least most of them that was on the main roster is going to have 90 days. So they're probably not going to be competing at any wrestling promotion if they're still interested until like any time in December, probably towards the mid end of December, like the very end of 2023, as we're going probably going head forward for WW going for I mean not I mean 2023 and going towards 2024. And it says right here, Mustafa Ali said he is no longer working with WWE. It was then revealed that Emma was released today, as well as her fiance Madcap Moss later joining her and as free agent in the free agency. And then it was later reported that Rick Boogs, and yeah, y'all get the point, but we're gonna see, according to Sean Ross Sapp, tweeted on Twitter out to confirm that today's release comes with a non-compete clause. This has come standard with the releases. And then yeah, it's also been expected that WWE are going to fire a few talent from NXT today. At this point, we will have to see what the company decides to do with the NXT contracts. Have historically been 30-day non-compete clauses for those in NXT, as opposed to the main roster's 90-day non-compete clauses. Keep checking back with Ringside News for more updates. It says right here into this article. And it also shows Sean Ross Sapp's tweet of there going to be plenty of non-compete clause after these mass releases, as you can see on this post from Sean Ross Sapp's tweet of there going to be plenty of non-compete clause, especially on the main roster. I'll give you a few seconds to read it, and then if you need some extra time, I'll recommend y'all guys to pause the video to see if you saw there's going to be plenty of 90-day non-compete clauses on the main roster, and then it says it's going to be possibly going to be. But what y'all think about this? Yeah, again, y'all let me know down in the comments below. And we're going to move on to the next article, which is Hulu stopped. It says right here that it's been confirmed that Hulu stopped streaming WWE content starting next week. And it says right here, according to this article, WWE is making big moves in especially every sector, especially in every sector, and that includes television streaming services and more. After WWE and UFC merger was finalized just last week, more and more changes were expected. Now it appears Hulu will no longer stream WWE content from next week. WWE has shows such as Raw and SmackDown, NXT, and main event superstars, NXT, and a level up, in Espanol, 205 Live, Total Divas, and Total Bellas on Hulu, which has been the case for a long time now. However, some fans have noticed that there were expiration tags on episodes with removal dates being from either Monday, September 25th, 2023, or Tuesday, September 26th, 2023. A fan notably inquired about the expiration tags on Twitter, to which Hulu's official Twitter account confirmed that Hulu's streaming rights to WWE content will be expiring next week. Let's see. It also says right here, Hulu here, our streaming rights to WWE content are currently set to expire, but we'll certainly share your interest in seeing them stay in our library with our team. For now, we'd suggest adding the shows in my or in your not ours yours. Okay, I'm getting tired. I didn't see the Y there. My bad. But anyway, this is a very wide screen. Well, I put it on the wide screen. My apologies. But seeing them stay in our library which is the team for now, we suggest adding the shows in your My Stuff to be notified of any updates. It should not be forgotten that WWE had a reality show with Bianca Belair and Montez Ford in the works, which was supposed to be aired on Hulu. We'll have to see which streaming platform the show will end up airing on next, as Hulu is clearly out of the picture. But it's been noted that if you keep it on My Stuff, for those who have Hulu, if you keep it on there, even when their expiration date comes up, into them having the rights of WWE's content, it's still gonna have their replays of their WWE weekly wrestling shows and reality shows, and even on y'all's library My Stuff section, like where you can keep all the reruns and etc. like into y'all's what's that, in y'all streaming subscription, in y'all's Hulu subscription, Hulu streaming subscription, for those who have Hulu. But I don't have Hulu at the moment, but I'm just saying, but yeah. And what y'all think about this this sudden move from this merger with UFC with Endeavor, and that's possibly the reason why their expiration date are expiring with Hulu, and they're not going to renew a deal into their rights of being on Hulu. Y'all let me know down in the comments below, and then if it's the only way y'all watching WWE on Hulu, my best to recommend is that you watch this. To keep it on My Stuff for now until they remove any further new episodes of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, Main Event, NXT Level Up, like etc. This is the best way to recommend to keep it on there, which I'm not sure if NXT Level Up recommend to keep it on there until you can find another way to watch your favorite WWE shows, yeah. But yeah, I think, but on my opinion, I thought their deal with Hulu already expired. And they're not doing any content. I did not know they're still doing content from the past couple of months. I thought from this past summer that their deal expired, and then they're not going to make a new deal because of the Endeavor deal of Vince McMahon selling selling this company to Endeavor, like, which is the parenting company of UFC, of course. But yeah, the parenting company, I should say, get the enunciation correctly. But anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know, let y'all be the judge of that down in the comments, and then we're gonna move on to the next news article, which WWE tried to minimize negative impact of mass superstar releases. And it says also in this article that WWE stars might have hope that the days of mass releases were no longer a thing, but they were mistaken. Now, a number of WWE superstars have been cut from the company in a sweeping release. Sean Ross Sapp noted behind Fightful's paywall that WWE superstars believe that the company tried to minimize the negative impact on the company with these releases, aligning with other big deals that they announced. The line of thinking from many on the roster is that WWE aligned these cuts with the announcement of Elimination Chamber and SmackDown rights fee deal in order to minimize the negative impact on the company. TKO stock dropped from $96.23 to $88.95 by 10 p.m. Eastern. After the SmackDown announcement, the stock now sits at $86.94 as of 12:20 midnight Eastern, as news of releases have filtered in. WWE might want to minimize the impression that they make with these releases, but that won't stop fans from talking about this after they fired Emma on the same day that the company announced a huge elimination chamber event in Australia. We will have to see what WWE does next. Hopefully, the days of cutting people is behind them. They fired over 100 people from their headquarters last week as well. They also announced a massive deal with the USA Network to bring Friday Night SmackDown to NBCU for 5 years. We're having their and it says it's been noted that they having their they have their TKO stock go down, and I think that's some of the reasons why, of the cause of the releases, like with the likes, like having the stock deal with the Elimination Chamber being in Australia and SmackDown, the SmackDown deal being on NBC, in the NBC channel, like it, and being all part of the NBCU. And and then renewing Monday Night Raw's deal with what's it called, with USA Network, like with my bad. It went down from like $96 to $88, and the 88 to $86 into the profit of the stock of on the stock market of TKO of the TKO group stock holdings. Yeah. But it basically went down like $10 less, like $96 to $86. But what do you think about this? What do you think about this low profit that WWE got with the deals with Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, Elimination Chamber? And it said it's ironic because they released Emma, and she's from Australia, and they're going to have the Elimination Chamber event at 2024 in their home country. Yeah, they have Rhea Ripley, and she's the reigning defending women's world champion. She's possibly gonna be that championship probably until WrestleMania, like I predicted like a few weeks ago on one of my Raw review videos. Make sure y'all check that out. But anyways, but even though they have that, they're probably gonna have Rhea Ripley main event that event in the Elimination Chamber. Whether if she's gonna be in the Elimination Chamber match or facing one of her opponents, like one of her opponents that's the number one contender for the women's world championship at that in the year in 2024's Elimination Chamber. But yeah, what do you think about this? About this stock going negative, going down on the negative $10? I'll say, or maybe a little bit less than $10. I would say, according to this, from this little stock, from this negative stock going down, I would say, my opinion is, let's see right here, according to this article, it says stock went down to $96.23, and then it went down to $88.95, and then went down to, yeah, that's like, let's see, 80, and then went down to $86.94. I'd say, yeah, it went down a little less than $10. I'll say a little bit over $9. Like it went down $9. It went down to like, let's see, I'll say about, I would say about $6 and then a little bit over $6, yeah, and then the same with this. I would say it went over. Do the math, it went down, and it took like $2.01, yeah, which I believe it's a little bit less than. It's a little less than $10, but it's like over $9, like way over $9, but it's a little less than $10. They've lost almost $10 worth of the money is in the stock market. But we're probably gonna continue looking at the news as we go forward. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments below. Comments down below, and we're gonna do a couple more articles here before we're done here. We're gonna look at some Jon Moxley news now. We got some photos in emerges of Tony Khan and Renee Paquette outside of Jon Moxley's trailer after apparent injury at AEW Grand Slam, because it's been reported that on AEW Dynamite, the special edition of the Grand Slam event, it went down this week, and Jon Moxley lost the international title to Rey Fenix at Arthur Ashe Stadium. What happened next was rather interesting, and we are sending our best to John Moxley at this sad time. Ray Phoenix secured the. We're not in the sad time. I'll say, as he's as it's believed that John Moxley suffered a concussion, which that's been on the news lately from a couple of wrestling YouTubers, and I'll name one out to my boy Slap Rock. Shout out to you, boy. But anyways, yeah, shout out to you, my boy Slap Rock. Like for bringing you up bringing up about this injury, according to onto the wrestling news with John Moxley possibly suffering a concussion, and I too want to send my best wishes at this time, like in the full and speedy recovery for the former AEW World Champion and AEW International Champion. And it says right here, Ray Phoenix secured the AEW International title with a victory over John Moxley at last night's Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite in New York City. Ray Phoenix utilized his modified pile driver to secure the win, but the outcome appeared unplanned as Moxley seemed to substant sustain an injury. Sustain an injury. It's a strong A word, yeah. To sustain an injury during the move after the match, during the move, and then after the match, while Ray Phoenix celebrated his win, at ringside, doctors rushed. So doctors rushed to attend to Moxley. Moxley then walked back in to the back on his own. PW Insider reported backstage speculation that Moxley may have suffered a concussion. The ringside doctors spent considerable time examining Moxley in the ring before he sat up and walked away with fans chanting Moxley as he departed through the crowd, followed by the ringside doctors. WrestleBros also shared a photo showing several individuals outside Moxley's bus in the Arthur Ashe Stadium back in the parking lot. Among them were John Moxley's wife Renee Paquette, AEW President Tony Khan, and John Moxley's Blackpool Combat Club stablemates, Claudio Castagnoli and Willer Yuta. Another individual who appeared to be either Orange Cassidy or AEW Vice President and Talent Development Pat Buck was also present. WrestleVotes then tweeted out a reply to say source stated Moxley walked back towards the arena on his own, power accompanied by his own power. John Moxley walked back toward on his own power, accompanied by a doctor in Orange Cassidy. There was some discussions that Moxley seemed disoriented after taking a dive from Ray Phoenix earlier in the match. Later, later in the contest, after Phoenix executed the pile driver, Moxley failed to kick out, and referee Rick Knox did not make the 3 count, as as this not as this is not originally planned concussion. Moxley Moxley appeared to make on the fly decision on Phoenix hit the second pile driver for for un, uncon, un, uncon, unconvention victory, I should say. We are And then it said, according from the Ringside News journalist, it said, we are hoping for the best for Jon Moxley as he apparently recovers from as injury. For more updates, as more updates on this story and many more, please keep it turned with us here at at Ringside News. But yeah, like I said too, I hope for the fast and speedy recovery, and hopefully we get more updates on the Jon Moxley's latest injury. But let's hope it's not a very major one. Let's hope this doesn't keep him out for like a few, not for like less than a few weeks, way less than like a week or two. But yeah, let's go talk about. It came in an unexpected victory. I was like, I even talked about this last night on my SNA podcast of my AEW Grand Slam review. Like, I was like, was this planned or not? Like, that was a good question. Like, this seemed like it was unplanned because and I even pointed out the referee didn't count the 3. Like, he was looking at, like, I think that Jon Moxley put up his shoulder, but it didn't. But the truth was that Jon Moxley didn't put up his shoulder at all. Like, the referee had to oversell. Or had to sell that Jon Moxley had his shoulder up just to make it look like that he didn't know what to do, because he didn't know what to do. He had to improvise and try to make it look legit that Jon Moxley put the shoulder up, and he had to try again and then get the 1, 2, 3, and that's how he'll get the 1, 2, 3. But the damage has probably already been made for those fans who noticed the referees going off script and didn't know what to do. He was looking in a confused state. And then it kind of had my eyes. I was like, did Jon Moxley kicked out of that, or did the referee didn't know what to do? That Jon Moxley's probably legitimately concussed and knocked out. But that was the case. That seemed to be the case. Then he had to hit a second one, and had to change of plans, and they had to unconventionally give Ray Phoenix the title and do a title change, because this could be a legitimate injury. And yeah, and I hope it's not too bad. Yeah. And I hope a speedy recovery once again for the 30,000th time in a row. My apologies for the repeat for hoping you for a fast and speedy recovery to you, Moxley. But I was just trying to just say something that's cool, that's cool, and give a well wishes to make that clear. And then I hope y'all have the same to give down in the comments below for you viewers that are watching this video. And now we're gonna move on to the next news. We got some more AEW news. It's a sneak peek at AEW, sneak peek at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam stage setup. And it's been noted that the stage is set for AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, which will take place. No, this is some old news. My apologies. Yeah, let's move on to the next news. We have some Mandy Rose news now. Like, is Mandy Rose treats fans to 48 hours of free OnlyFans access with fresh photos released. And it's been noted according to this article about the former NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose was released from her contract due to content she posted behind her premium content paywall. However, she made the best of the situation and ended up expanding her empire in a major way. She finally has an OnlyFans as well, and now it appears Rose decided to plug a very special offer on her OnlyFans. And in case you didn't know, Mandy Rose was fired by WWE due to the NSFW content she posted behind her premium content paywall. Unsurprisingly, several fans were upset over this. This even called out WWE a double standards. Called WWE's double standards. Following her release, Mandy Rose has managed to build up her brand in a huge way. Mandy would then announce that she will be joining OnlyFans, and her debut already got many fans talking within the wrestling community. The former WWE superstar took to her Instagram story and uploaded a photo of her clad in denims as she plugged a special offer on her OnlyFans, announcing her OnlyFans would be free for the next 48 hours. Hours. Not yet. Uncle SNA will see it as soon as he gets done with his wrestling news. Is outside? Yeah. Oh, wow. Uncle SNA's gonna see it. Yeah, you're gonna see your dad's new Charger. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah. But anyways, let's finish off this. I'm talking about this about Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose will also be making her podcast, debuting along with her fiance Tino Sabatelli. I hope I pronounced your name right. And I'll say congratulations for y'all's podcast. I started my podcast a month ago, and I'm slowly but surely getting there. I hope y'all get as best as I do for both you, Mandy, and for you, Tino. Yeah. I hope for the best for y'all in y'all's future podcast. But anyways, it remains to be seen when Rose will make her way back to the world of professional wrestling as well. But what do you think about her? What do you think about for those who are fans of the NXT Women's Champion? From the former NXT Women's Champion putting out free content of her photos and images on OnlyFans. And what do you think about her being on OnlyFans in general? Because it's been recently reported on the wrestling news and the wrestling internet and to the wrestling articles that the former NXT Women's Champion and the former leader of Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose, is gonna be on. Is going to be on onto OnlyFans, and then she's gonna make her debut very soon. And then recently it's been noticed that it's gonna be free photos of her. Like, what do you fans think about this? Like, is this very fortunate for you guys? Yeah, obviously, because perfect. But yeah, what do you think about her putting out free photos of her content for fans of y'all that are fans of her? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Either way, I'll say I'm not obviously on OnlyFans, and also And also, I'm not the biggest fan of Mandy Rose. I thought she was very decently talented, and I believe it was very unfortunate for her to lose her job with WWE. But they have their strict rules, so and then they gave her and then they released her. I'm not sure if they even gave her a warning, but they may not. I'm not sure what was the situation was, but I would say they didn't like what she was doing, so they had no choice but to fire her and gave her the pink slip, which I'm not sure if it was the good move or not. But for those fans, they thought that it wasn't a good move. Despite having despite having an NS. I mean, not OnlyFans, NS, what's it called? The NS. It says right here, NSFW fan page, yeah, but
Trey you.
And yeah, y'all let me know. Yeah, y'all let me know all about that down in the comments below. But we're gonna finish off. We're gonna end this video with some Io Sky has homecoming in Tokyo after WWE Women's Title win.
He's just cute.
He really is. And it says right here, WWE Superstar has very busy lives, and they don't get to spend a ton of time at home. This is also very true for Io Sky, because she has to travel a lot longer to make a trip to Japan. Io Sky become the WWE Women's Champion by cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase on Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. This was a bit of a shock that for the EST of WWE, because she had just won the title from Asuka moments prior to that. Naturally, Io Sky and Damage Control have been celebrating since then, but Sky just recently had a chance. That's a CNIG. My apologies, by the way. Have had a chance to celebrate in Japan. Sky celebrated her victory by sharing photos of her with the championship in Tokyo on Twitter. This was big. This was a big deal for her, and she was all smiles as well. And what do you think about her reign as? And what do you think about her reign as WWE Women's Champion? And how's her reign going? Is it doing really good, or do you think that she should be promoted as a much better champion than she already is? Y'all let me know down in the comments below about that. What do you think about her finally going back home with the straps as WWE Women's Champion in her home country in Japan, in her home city in Tokyo? I'd like to hear all about that, and I guess that I'm gonna end the news video right here as this SNA podcast has come to a close, and then I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, on this 42nd episode of the SNA podcast of the wrestling news video, part 8, of course, and I hope I'm gonna make a part 9 video by, I believe, Sunday. And make sure y'all check out my tomorrow night's video, 2 of them. It's going to be 2 in one night for, I believe, the 6th time in a row. We're going to be doing the episode 43 and episode 44 of the SNA podcast. And it'll be the SmackDown review part 6 and the AEW Rampage review part 6 as well, which will be my 6th week in a row that I did the SNA podcast 2 weeks in a row. I mean, 2 times in one night in 2 episodes. This will be my 6th week in a row for doing so. So make sure y'all check that out. And And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can be notified when I make a new video and I upload my new videos, like whether it's a new news video or a wrestling show video. And again, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This has been the 42nd episode of the SNA podcast, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, out. Trey, you want to say bye-bye to the viewers on YouTube too? And dress up as silly? Okay, I guess so. Bye-bye.